Hey Scoubi fans, this is a walkthrough of our Scoubi Club Brick Stitch and Super Brick Stitch instruction guide. If you've received a kit with these materials and you need a little extra instruction, you are watching the right video. So this kit and instruction guide is for the brick stitch, which is this one. And you'll see there's 2 rows of colors here and a third color that binds it together on the side. And this is generally called the brick stitch. This is the super brick stitch, and you'll have 3 rows or columns of colors and a 4th color binding it together on the side. And this one I finished off with beads, just for a little flair. All right, let's get started. So first you'll open your instruction guide and see that the first section is about starting your brick Scoubi. If you know how to do the box stitch, this is very similar to that, and we just add 1 more strand. So let's go through that together. Step 1, you'll choose one of your colors and find the middle. And I like to do that by matching up the ends and then stretching out until the middle is on my finger. And you will put it on a finger that's comfortable for you. For me, it's my left index finger. And hold the right strand in your hand and flip that over, creating 2 loops on your finger. So that's just like how we do the box stitch, but now we'll add a second color to make 2 more loops. So just like you did the first time, put the blue one on your finger, take the one that's behind in your right hand for me, and flip it over. So this should be step 1. And you want to make sure they stay in the order that you've put them in here. In step 2, you'll simply feed the 3rd color under all 4 loops. I like to go from right to left, but it really doesn't matter so much. Okay, and again, you want to try to find the middle of that pink strand. It doesn't have to be exact, but you want to be close, otherwise your project might not be as long as you'd like it to be. Okay, so your step 2, when you're finished, should look similar to this. Let's move on to step 3. In step 3, you will use the left end of the long strand, which for me is pink, and go over and under the second one, over the 3rd one, and under the 4th one. So again, it's that over, under pattern. Okay, so you'll notice that I got a little twisted up, so you want to try to fix that, otherwise you'll have twists in your project. Let's repeat that with the right strand. So again, you're going to go over and under, over and under. Okay, and pull that through. Just know that this is the hardest part. So once you've done this, this project will be rather easy. So you should have something that looks similar to this. You'll want to gently remove your finger, and I like to take 1 strand of each color in each hand and gently pull. You can do those until you see the checkerboard pattern again. If you have twists, you'll want to take those out. It could be a little loose like that. You'll want to put on a lanyard hook, and I like to open them like this because it's a little easier. And you'll see that we've already created 2 loops for ourselves, so you can put your lanyard hook through both of those and then close it up. So that'll give you something to hold on to, making the stitches a bit easier. We've started our brick stitch Scoubi, which is definitely the hardest part. So let's talk about how to do the stitch. So you'll open up your instructions and you'll see the brick stitch instructions are at the top. Put that aside. So the first thing to do is to hold your Scoubi facing you with the checkerboard pattern up. And I'm gonna hold on to the lanyard hook because that's a little bit easier. Like the box stitch, you'll start at the bottom left-hand corner and flip that strand away from you, creating a loop. Just like the box stitch, the one that's farther away, flip towards you, creating a loop. Take the next one, flip it away from you and make your third loop. And then the last one, flip that towards you and make your fourth loop. Once you have this, step 2 of the brick stitch is completed. For step 3, start with the right end of your longer strand, in our case it's the pink, and go over the first blue, under the second, over the first green, and under the second. And again, you want to make sure you don't have any twists in your material. Okay, and let's do the same with the left end of the pink. So you want to go over the first green, under the second, over the first blue, under the second, and pull that through. All right. So then you will pull all of your ends until you see the checkerboard pattern again. All right, so we'll do a few while you watch. Let's talk about the super brick stitch. It is exactly the same as the brick stitch, just with one additional color. So I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time, but I will demonstrate so you can see how that's done. Just like in the brick stitch, start with the loop. Take your next color, same exact situation. Let's see how you have in the front, back, front, back. All right, now your third color. Okay, so when you're done, you should have something similar to this. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight as long as you can keep your loops organized. Just like in the brick stitch, you'll take the longer of the strands in your kit. If you don't have a kit, the longer strand needs to be about 1.5 times of your other strands. Okay, so you're gonna feed this. This is just like in the brick stitch. Feed it under all of the strands. Okay. And then you wanna find the middle. So again, we'll start with the left of the long strand and go over the first one, under the second, over the third, under the fourth, over the fifth, under the sixth. All right, and then with the right end of the long strand, go over the first, under the second, over the third, under the fourth, over the fifth, and under the sixth. All right, so it should look something like a Z. At this point, again, you'll gently remove your finger and pull on your strings until you have something that resembles a checkerboard pattern with your colors. All right. Just like in the brick stitch, you'll make your loops with the colors. So one away from you, one towards you. Again, if you want to put on a lanyard hook before you do this to make it easier, you're welcome to do that. I just kind of use my finger. All right. So all the ones that are towards you, you want to put them away from you, and the ones that are away from you, you want to flip them towards you. Okay. Okay. All right, so you should have 6 loops. That looks something like that. If some of them are lower, you can scooch them up. You can position them to make it easier to feed your long one through. That's totally up to you. So again, you go over the first, under the second, over the third, under the fourth, over the fifth, and under the sixth. Okay, and our left-hand strand this time. So over the first and under the second, I have gotten my loops a little crazy. All right, over the third, under the fourth, over the fifth, and under the sixth. Oops. Again, check your material, make sure you don't have any twists. And then you'll take one color of each in each hand and then pull until you see your checkerboard pattern. All right. So you'll continue in this way until your project is the length that you'd like. I'm going to show you on this brick stitch project how to end either the brick stitch or the super brick stitch. It's exactly the same. So what you'll do is make one final stitch. And again, this is also like the round stitch and the box stitch ending. So if you know how to do that, then this should be pretty straightforward. Tighten it a little bit, but not all the way. Okay, so just like in the box stitch, you'll start with any strand, wrap it around the one of the same color and up through the center. Your next one around, up through the center. we hope this walkthrough helped you understand how to do the brick and the super brick Scoobies. And we'd love to hear from you on Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok. Or if you have not yet subscribed, please do on either Cratejoy or Etsy. Thank you.